This is going to land well with so many of our audience members today. Live Clean Baby is a unique collection of eco-friendly baby care products. It's designed with your baby and the environment in mind, and everyone in our audience will be taking home the new Live Clean Baby Eczema Cream and their little baby travel kit. So enjoy that. Use that for your little ones. We get so many questions for Robina. So let's start. We're going to get as many in as we can right now. Let's start with one from a parent who's talking all about teaching their 10-year-old about consequences. Okay, so it seems that whenever we take something away from him as a consequence, he isn't bothered by it. We're running out of ideas as to how to make him understand that his actions have a punishment. What advice do you have for this parent?
You know, I think this is a bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for? A bit of a weakness in parenting from beginning to end, that sometimes you don't look at the consequences versus the age. As your child grows, the consequences have to change, and it's not always something you think about.
Right.
Like personally, I don't think timeout works very well by the time your child is 5 or 6.
No.
But parents are still putting them in timeout and then saying it's not working. You've really got to sit down and have a discussion as a family and involve him in it, and come up with a list of consequences that are appropriate. First of all, the consequence has to fit the crime also, but you have got to get, like, it's tough on kids today, you know, trying to find something that bothers them, basically.
Yeah, it's usually technology.
Yes, I was just
usually
gonna say.
If you take that away, it's a big deal.
It is. You know, what does he have a phone? Take away his phone. I would, again, I know I've done this on the show before, create a consequent jar, a list, so you have it. Because one of the problems is when you're trying to think of a consequence and it doesn't come to you.
Yeah.
Right? That you revert back to something that's of no use.
Right.
So you want to sit down and make a useful list. I would do, like, you know what, it's 3 days with no television, or 3 days without your cell phone, or, you know, you've got to come up, you can't use the iPad, you're not allowed on the computer. You know, that party or that game you were going to Saturday night, you're done.
Right.
But you've got to be able to carry that consequence out. Some parents will feel guilty by what they introduce, and you've got to get over that guilt.
Okay, so pick the consequence that is actually going to fit the age and the stage that your child is at.
Absolutely.
Sometimes that means evolving a bit. Recently, my 5-year-old has started pooping his pants. We all know when you get them past the toilet training, it's hard to go backwards. He says he doesn't have to go, then he literally stands there and does it right away. I'm at a loss as to why this is happening and what to do about it.
Do you know what? I've actually had a couple of clients with an issue actually similar to this. So the first thing I would say, first of all, is make sure that it's not a medical condition. Right. One of the things I would look at is, has anything in your lifestyle changed recently? Has anything brought on a little anxiety? One. Is it laziness? Is it just like, I can't be bothered to go because I'm having too much fun? So first find out, you know, where that's coming from. In order to actually help him get from A to B, I would not suggest a punishment, which a lot of parents might do, some kind of consequence, because it's generally not something that they purposely do. Even if they're forgetful and they get involved with a toy, what I would do, though, is make sort of hold them responsible for cleaning up. Okay, so they've got to be brought to the bathroom. They're the ones that have to tip it down the toilet, rinse their underwear, and make them accountable for the accident that just happened. Right. You know, in no time at all, it's going to escalate, and they, oh gosh, I kind of like this side of the job, and hopefully then that'll slide on. And, you know, go back to reminding him. Maybe he just needs that little reminder when he's involved in whatever game he's playing at the time.
Right, because that side of the situation is the side that stinks, literally. And if they have to take care of it, maybe they'll think twice. If it is something that's being caused by anxiety or something that's changed in their lives, what do you do about that? Well,
I think you need to go and get some advice from your doctor, because I don't think I'm qualified really to, you know, because I think it'd have to be diagnosed. It's like, okay, this is stress-related or anxiety-related, and I think your doctor then will actually tell you how to handle it. So,
a lot of kids have that right before school begins again. All of a sudden, they're wetting the bed, or, you know, things are out of whack. So it could just be an anxiety thing, and you kind of have to give it
and especially in the first few days of school, as school's just gone back, some of the things that can happen is you feel that your child is settled, and they have, but then they start feeling anxious about the next day. And it's because they know what's coming, not because they don't know. They know what's coming, and, you know, they just feel anxious when they go to bed, and it can affect number one, number two.
Absolutely. Okay, listen, you always give great advice. I see you on Twitter. I know that you get a lot of questions about sleep, but whatever the question is, send it in via Facebook or Twitter. We will get Robina to answer it here.